Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I have to apologize to you guys. I did disappear for a couple days. We had a dear friend who was passing away, and she actually passed sometime either last night or early this morning. But we were trying to give them some support and show them love for a few days. So that's where I was. And now I'm back, and I have a video for you from Judge Crum. He is hearing a divorce, and I'll let you guys watch.
All right, we'll go on the record. Case is entitled In the Matter of the Marriage of Kimberly Clark, Petitioner, and Charles Clark, Respondent. Case number 24 DM 428. Petitioner Kimberly Clark appears in person pro se. Respondent Charles Clark appears in person pro se. All parties are appearing by Zoom. All right, this is set for a final hearing. I've been reviewing paperwork that's been submitted, and let me ask you, Ms. Clark, first of all, have the two of you agreed upon a division of assets and debts?
There has been. There's only two other things that I did want that I forgot to put in the paperwork, and that's a swimming pool and my train that's a smoker. Other than that, everything else has been agreed upon except for the spousal support.
Okay, well, that's a pretty big component here of a final divorce. Is if it's all been agreed upon, then we would be able to take up a final hearing today. But if there's still issues that are in dispute and unresolved, we're going to have to set it for an evidentiary hearing. So there's been no agreement as to spousal support?
No, he refuses, and I'm on permanent disability, and he thinks that I should live off of $1,000 a month, and that's just not possible.
And let me address you, Mr. Clark. So you're not in agreement with paying her an amount of child support or a spousal support?
I'm willing to pay a small portion, yes, but not the amount she's asking for. I've got to make it. She wants me to make her car payment. That's fine. I'll pay it so she has a vehicle. The small portion, not the full amount she's asking. And I talked to my insurance company because she's asking for me to stay on my insurance. And the only way to do that is if you order for me to do that, then I have to pay for it out of pocket. If I have to come up with that and pay out of pocket plus pay her the amount she's asking for, there's no way I can live.
He can take me off the insurance. I've already got other insurance, which is fine. Just take me off the health insurance, take me off the life insurance policy, and I would be fine with that.
Okay, so where does that? I've got 5 different proposed decrees of divorce here that have been submitted between the two of you. So I went through it, and I just
we first agreed upon 10%. We both talked about it, and it's what she agreed to, what I was asking for, and I was agreeing to that as long as I made her car payment.
How much is the car payment?
It's between her vehicles and mine. It's $700 every 2 weeks.
It's
so it's $1,400 a month.
No, it's $1,265 because I checked with the bank yesterday. He is paying extra, so he's already got February's payment made and half of March. And my portion of the 2 vehicles is only $500. The remaining of it is his.
Well, here's what here's what I'm inclined to do. I know there's a PFA in place, so I don't want you all communicating outside the presence of this court proceeding. But what I would allow, if you both are willing to do it, is to go into a breakout room so you can visit privately to see if you can resolve all of the issues that are in dispute regarding the divorce. If you all are able to come to an agreement on everything, a division of assets and debts, spousal maintenance, all of those issues, then we can finalize the divorce. If you are unable to come to an agreement that resolves all issues, we're going to have to schedule a trial date for the court to take evidence and testimony. So then the court can make a determination as to what's fair, just, and equitable for a division of the assets and debts. So
That's fine with me. Just put us in a breakout room and we'll figure this out.
okay. Now I will advise Mr. Clark, make sure this is the breakout room is productive and doesn't result in anything other than trying to resolve this divorce case.
Oh,
So
I totally understand.
I've got until 3:30 scheduled for this. So, but I'll give you a little bit of time to see if you can come to some sort of an agreement. So, Angela, can you place them in a breakout room? Do you all know how to do a breakout room?
Yes.
It just popped up and said join now.
Okay, yeah. And then when you come back, make sure you don't exit the meeting. Make sure you're just leaving the breakout room.
Okay.
We're gonna take a brief recess. We'll go back on the record. Let the record reflect the presence of the parties. They've just been in a breakout room to discuss a possibility for settlement. Ms. Clark, were you all able to reach any agreements?
We are, and it's 10%, and then he'll continue to make the car payment. I do want, due to the fact that we do have a temporary PFA on there, I would like to have that in ordered in the court papers that the PFA remains.
Well, that's two separate
Okay.
cases, but when you said 10%, 10% of what? What's that?
The spousal support.
Right, but it has to be a monthly figure.
I
Can't
would
be a
do
percentage.
600 a month.
600 a month for what?
300 every 2 weeks.
Hang on. That's way more than 10%.
Well, I don't know what to tell you because you took all the money out of the checking account and left me with nothing.
There wasn't no
And
money in the checking account.
Right, guys, I don't want this to get into an argument. We either have, if there isn't an agreement, then we're just gonna set it for trial. And you all can
Judge,
make your argument.
my average checks run about 4,000 every 30 days. Is about what I make.
Okay, well, like I said, if you all have an agreement, we can finalize the divorce. If not, I'm gonna set the case for trial.
Like I said, my checks are roughly 4,000 a month.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, cancel. If you want to base it off 10% off of that, that's fine.
Well, the problem being is a division of assets and debts encompasses all of the property owned. Spousal support is a whole separate calculation and argument. It's not. I don't have all of these figures in front of me to make any determination absent some sort of an agreement today. So if y'all don't have an agreement, I'm just going to set it for trial. And
no, just do 400, 200 every 2 weeks.
is that something you're agreeing to, Mr. Clark?
Yes, I will agree to 200 every 2 weeks.
Typically, in a spousal support order, it's a monthly obligation with the payment date due by a certain date each month. Now, are all other aspects of division of assets and debts agreed upon?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
The only thing that I have want to disagree upon is she was wanting some money back from her grandmother's inheritance. The things that she was talking about was gifts that she had given me, and when my dad passed away, I received a bunch of money and I bought her stuff for her office so she could do her tumblers and stuff. I'm not asking for that back, and I don't think because it was a gift. I don't feel like she needs to ask for the stuff back either.
But I didn't have you didn't have the money when I started doing the tumblers. That was in 2016. I didn't plan on doing tumblers until 2022.
Okay, well, sorry, it was my ankle settlement that still paid for that though.
So there's a dispute regarding this.
No, just let it go. I'm done. Just let it go.
All right, Mr. Clark, I need to place you under oath and get some testimony. If you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Clark, I'm just asking questions of Ms. Clark right now. I'll give you an opportunity to respond and make a comment later. So every question I'm asking right now, unless otherwise noted, is directed to Ms. Clark. All right, Ms. Clark, could you state your name for the record?
Kimberly K. Clark.
And you're the petitioner in this action, is that correct?
Yes.
And you are seeking a divorce from Charles Clark on the grounds of incompatibility, is that correct?
Yes.
Have you been a resident of the state of Kansas for the 60 days prior to the filing of this divorce action?
Yes.
And are you still a resident of Butler County, Kansas?
Yes.
All right. When were the two of you married?
July 21st of 2012.
And you're currently separated?
Yes.
And how long have you been separated?
Since November 15th.
Of 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And there are no minor children of the marriage, is that correct?
No.
All right. We've been discussing division of assets and debts. I just want to go over that with you at this time for purposes of the record. Before I do that, are you seeking a restoration of a prior name or a maiden name?
Yes, I am.
And what name are you seeking restoration to?
The Bell, Bell.
Could you say that one more time?
Bell, like ding-a-ling. Bell.
Okay. Kimberly Bell.
Kimberly K. Bell, yes.
All right. Mr. Clark is not active duty United States military, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Do you all own real estate?
No.
Okay, so you don't own the house on Sheldon Street?
No, we were doing a contract for deed, and my name is still on the house, but that's easy to contact the landlord and have my name removed, so he is living in the house.
But you don't own the property?
No.
All right, what about vehicles? Do you have vehicles that are in both of your names?
Yes, we do. I have the 2018 Chevy Cruze, and I have the 2010 Can-Am.
Is there money owed on each of those?
Yes, there is. Mine is roughly 20,000, and his is $40,000 worth. I'm sorry. Yeah, roughly
So
35.
you owe how much between
I
the
owe
two?
20,000 on mine, and the remaining loan is 40,000 is his.
Okay, are both of your names on the loans for these two vehicles?
Yes, and I've already talked to the bank, and they cannot be removed or separated.
Ever?
Well, until the loan is paid in full.
Okay, are you agreeing to pay the loan amount on the Chevy Cruze and the Can-Am?
Not at this time because I'm on disability.
Okay, so is
The loan
Mr.
payment that
Clark,
he,
is Mr. Clark going to pay the vehicle loan for the Chevy
yeah,
Cruze and the Can-Am?
yeah, it's all lumped in one loan.
Okay, what else is on that loan?
He has a 2007 F-150, 2 motorcycles, and a boat.
Okay, so a 2007 F-150, a boat, is it a Vixen Viper?
Yes, it is.
And what are the motors? There's a 2007 motorcycle. What kind of
Yeah,
motorcycle?
I believe that one is a Yamaha, and then the other one, he may correct me, is a Honda. But I don't remember what the 2 makes are. But one motorcycle's totaled, but it's still on the loan, and then there's another motorcycle is the one I bought him, um, out of my grandma's estate money. So he's got the 2 motorcycles, the boat, and his pickup truck.
Mr. Clark, I'm going to address you. There's the 2007 Yamaha. What's the other motorcycle?
It's a 2008 Yamaha V-Star, and it's a 99 Kawasaki Vulcan.
Right, and you're agreeing as part of this divorce settlement to pay the loan on all of these vehicles and boats and
It automatically comes out of my check every week or every 2 weeks, and I don't want her without a vehicle. I was trying to be nice and make the payments so she would have a set of wheels. And
you're gonna, Miss Clark, you're gonna remain in possession of the Chevy Cruze and the Can-Am?
I am, but I wanna make it clear to him that he has threatened to continue to take my car and that the car belongs to me,
Well, technically, it belongs to,
both
if
of us.
both of your names remain on the loan, um, if he doesn't make the payments on it, they're still gonna come and
I understand.
take it regardless of what I order. You understand
Right.
that?
I understand.
All right, are there other um, items of property besides the vehicles we've just discussed that are being divided?
The only other thing is the train and the smoker, he's agreed to give that to me.
What is it?
A train it's a iron-made train that's made into a smoker to, like, smoke food,
Okay.
a train, and then the swimming pool.
Is this like an above ground swimming
Yes.
pool?
Yes, it is.
Right.
It's in storage right now, but yes.
Okay. Is there money owed on either of those items?
No.
Okay. Are there any other debts like credit card bills or things like that?
No.
Okay. What about bank accounts?
They've already been separated. When, he got his 2nd check from his job, or 3rd check, he already took money out of the account that was supposed to go in there and opened his own checking account without my knowledge. So I've had to clear up the debt that was in the other checking account that was overdrawn. But it's all taken care of and the account's been closed out.
Right. So you each have your
But
own separate checking and
Ri
savings accounts?
Yes, there was a payday loan that was being taken out of the joint account. I have now cleared it up and, closed it out.
What about retirement accounts? Do either one of you have retirement accounts?
He may, but I do not. I'm on
Okay.
disability, so I don't have anything.
As part of this division of assets and debts, is he keeping his retirement account?
He is.
Okay. And what, I'm going to address you now, Mr. Clark. What type of a retirement is it?
I don't have one yet. It won't kick in until May, I believe. But it's a 401k.
Okay, so there you have none right now?
No, sir.
No pension or anything like that?
No, sir. I'm not eligible for my 401k until I believe May.
Okay, but where do you work?
I work for Mun's Energy.
Okay, do they take out money each month as part of this 401?
They haven't yet. Like I said, I'm not eligible until like May, I believe.
Okay, so no money will be placed into this for you, so you're not entitled to anything at a certain time?
Well, like I said, in May when it kicks in, I can start investing into it. But right now, I'm not.
Understood. All right. In one of these proposed decrees, it lists family China.
I got my family China, yes. Everything's been taken out of the house, that's mine.
Okay. And a dog.
Yes, I have an emotional support dog. She's right there with me.
Okay. So
She is mine.
there's no dispute over who's taking the dog?
No,
Okay.
no, she's mine.
And then medical bills.
I have just my medical bills, and he's got whatever bills he's got.
So you're
I'm
each
not
going to
asking.
pay your own respective medical bills?
Yes.
All right. And you receive SSDI?
I do.
All right. Now you've written here, I'm assuming this is one that you submitted, Kimberly. It says is asking for 25% of his income. Is that something that you have now agreed upon will be this $400 spouse
Yes.
support figure?
Yeah.
All right. Then again, this is one that you must have submitted, Kimberly. It says Charles must help Kim financially help Kim get her motorcycle fixed. Is that something that's now been resolved by this?
Yeah, that'll be resolved. I will do that.
And then it says Charles will pay back Kimberly for grandma's inheritance. Is that something that's now been
Yes.
resolved?
Yes.
Then it says Charles does not know where the car, a 2018
He,
Cruise, is that?
when I left, he told me that he wanted to know when the car was being moved, if I went out of state with the car, where I'm going with the car at all times. And I'm sorry, but that's my car. Wherever I take it is where I take it.
Okay. Is that an issue for you, Charles?
The only reason I was asking where it would be or what state it would be is if it breaks down and I'm making payments on it, I at least would like to try to get it fixed and get it back if she's not going to drive it. That's all I was asking. It wasn't. It's not as bad as she's playing it out to be, but I don't care where it's at.
If you're unable to get each other off of these notes, then that's just that remains an issue for people who are separated and divorced, or if they can't get along to communicate regarding these types of issues. But if you're unable to do it, and this is what you've agreed to, then that's
Yeah.
the deal. So then it says must keep Kimberly on his insurance until she has a job that has benefits. Is that something that's now been resolved?
Yes.
And what's the agreement?
I'm gonna have my own benefits. I have Medicare, and I applied for public aid last night.
This, um,
And I'd just like to have the insurance canceled by the end of the month, please.
is that something that's agreeable with you?
Yes, sir.
All right, regarding the spousal maintenance, well, it'll need to be put into the journal entry that it's $400 a month and you need to have a starting date. Typically what I would do, since it's February 12th, that would start March the 1st.
Okay.
And Mr. Clark, if in this proposed decree that you guys have been submitting, it's in paragraph 23, that needs to be paid through the Kansas Payment Center for you to get credit for that.
Okay.
Because they keep track of it, and then it protects you. If you've made the payment, then you'll be able to verify that through the payment center. So make sure you follow those directions. Ms. Clark, are there any other aspects of this proposed division of assets and debts we haven't discussed?
Nope. I'm good.
Okay, Mr. Clark, I'm going to place you under oath now. If you could raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, could you state your name for the record?
Charles Lloyd Clark.
All right, and Mr. Clark, you've been present here for Kimberly's testimony, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And during her testimony, she went over the proposed division of assets and debts. Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything about what she testified to were the agreements that you don't agree with?
Nothing that pertains to this, no.
Okay. So you agree with
Yes,
the,
I agree. I agree with what we have discussed.
okay, so the division of assets and debts she testified to, you're in agreement with dividing your assets and debts in that manner?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel that the division of assets and debts is fair, just, and equitable to the both of you?
Yes, sir.
Kimberly, do you feel that the division of assets and debts is fair, just, and equitable to both of you?
I do.
Are there any other assets or debts that you guys have that you haven't disclosed to one another?
Nah. We're
No,
good.
sir.
Give me just a second. I want to go through this and make sure we cover everything. All right, we need to discuss the time period for the spousal support. Did you guys discuss how long those payments would?
5 years.
Okay. Charles, are you still with us?
Yes.
And are you agreeing to pay spousal support for a period of 5 years?
You agreed in the breakout room.
Yes.
And then typically there's a provision that obligation ends upon the death of the person receiving the maintenance. If the person receiving the maintenance gets remarried or is in residing with a spouse in a marriage type relationship, whether they're married or not. Those are typically provisions that are placed in one of these agreements as to what would cease the payments short of the 5 years. Did you guys discuss that at all?
No, but I'm fine with that. If something should happen that I get remarried, I understand.
Okay, and Mr. Clark, anything you would say in that regard?
No, I agree as well. If she passes or gets remarried, then yeah, I can understand why it would stop.
Okay. All right. Now, you all are going to have to prepare a clean decree of divorce because all of these ones that you've submitted are all different. And how I'm going to suggest we do this, and I'm not done with the testimony. I'll still have to make some final orders, but I'm going to task you, Kimberly, as the petitioner,
Mhm.
to draft the new version with the current agreements
Okay.
and sign it and drop it off at the clerk's office, and then notify Angela, my AA, if you could, that you've dropped that off at the clerk's office.
Mhm.
And then we'll notify Charles, you, that the decree has been dropped off at the clerk's office. Then you can come up and look it over and make sure it comports with what has been agreed here today, and then sign it. That way we just have one version that you've both looked at and both signed. And then once you've looked at it and signed it, the clerk's office will get it to me, and then I'll go through it and make sure everything is marked that needs to be marked. And then if everything looks good, then I can sign it and get it filed with the clerk's office.
Okay. And then will we get a copy of that then?
Yeah, you can obtain copies. Any objection to proceeding in that manner, Kimberly
No, I'm
and
good with that.
Charles?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make some findings here on the record then. I'm going to find that the divorce was filed back on December 3rd, 2024, that 60 days have passed since the filing of the divorce. The court finds that the petitioner, Kimberly Clark, was a resident of the state of Kansas for 60 days prior to the filing of the divorce and remains a resident of the state of Kansas. The parties have previously separated and have entered into an agreement as gone over on the record today, dividing the assets and debts. Each party has testified that division of assets and debts is fair, just, and equitable to both parties. The court will make that finding as well. The court orders that the petitioner, Kimberly Clark's name is Bell your maiden name or a prior name?
It's my I was adopted, so that is my adoption name.
Okay. Kimberly's name will be restored to Kimberly K. Bell. The court is ordering Mr. Clark to pay $400 in spousal maintenance beginning March 1st, 2025. That spousal support will be for a duration of 5 years. That obligation will cease if upon the death of Kimberly, upon her being remarried, or her being in a live-in relationship with a significant other. I will advise both of you that you're not to contract for marriage for a period of 30 days following the filing of the divorce. The divorce does not become final until I've signed the decree and it is filed with the clerk's office. We've discussed how we're going to get the final journal entry done. Do you have any questions, Ms. Clark?
No.
All right. I am going to grant the divorce on the grounds of incompatibility. Mr. Clark, do you have any questions?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Angela, do we have contact information for Mr. Clark?
I do not for Mr. Clark.
Okay. Do you have a phone number or email address you can provide to us, Mr. Clark?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Whenever you're ready.
You want to go off YouTube?
Yeah, we can go off YouTube, so you don't have to give that out to the general public. All right.
In my opinion, she could work. If she can ride a motorcycle and she can swim in a pool, she can work. She just chooses not to. She doesn't want to. And I think that the idea of spousal support is ridiculous in that kind of scenario. She says she's 100% permanently disabled. I don't know what her disability is. I don't really care what her disability is. But obviously, she can do paperwork and she can answer phones and she could deliver flowers. She doesn't have to be a delivery driver for UPS or something, but she could drive and deliver flowers. There's a ton of jobs out there that anybody can do if you just put your mind to it. But she'd rather not. She'd rather have him pay for her life now. She wants her car paid, all this other stuff. And she's got 2 cars. Why do you need 2 cars? And why should he have to pay for both of them? That's just kind of ridiculous to me. I think the idea of spousal support it's just greedy, in my opinion. Unless you've been married, 40 years and mama stayed home and took care of the kids, there's no reason for spousal support. But that's my opinion. It's hard to live for everybody. So why make it harder on him? You're the one that filed for divorce. Anyway. I truly think if she can ride a motorcycle, she can get a job. That's my opinion, though. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.